whispering. Listen. Isn't it cute? I think it's a quail, but I don't know. I scared it away. They're in my tent. It's time for me to sleep. I gotta be up at 4. I'm camping tonight. Isn't it wonderful? Thanks for tuning into Bolo Up. Have a good night. Welcome back to Bolo Up. Bolo Up. Bolo Up, Bolo Up, Bolo Up. I hope you're having an awesome day. Today's the 25th of May. I can't believe it, but it is true. 25th of May. So this is the finale of the finale. So let's get into this. Enlighten me. Illuminate. Alexander, Hypatia, Lincoln. They're just part of this story. I've been documenting the rest of it. Jump Station Hindle. The Kennedy Assault Fleet. Project Plainview. Rapier. All of it. I know all of it, Leanne. Attacking one of the WC's illegal mining ops was a smart opening move. If the consortium reported the assault to the UTA, they'd have to admit they were mining Hermium illegally. The cost of losing the colony would be nothing compared to the fines they'd wear. So, Biotech figured they can just jack the place and WUC wouldn't say a word to anyone. And you were right, but I'm not the WUC, Leanne, and I got plenty of words to say. If that's the case, then why give me these files at all? Why warn me? Why not? You can't stop what's coming. And I kind of like the idea of you scrambling and trying to save yourself before the axe falls. You people made Phobos, and now it's your turn to be afraid. Walk away, Katie. Walk away from what you found, and I'll leave you alone. You go public with whatever you think you know, and you'd better pray your first punch is a good one, because you'll never see mine coming. I can't say this loudly enough, or in enough languages. Aiden and I found out what you did, and I'm going to shout it loud enough for the whole verse to hear. Aiden? Are you delusional? The Alexander's artificial intelligence was destroyed, Katie. You think? Don't you remember what Byron told me before he died? It's a self-repairing system, Leanne. If I even leave a seed of it, it'll grow back, he said. Well, I got a seed out of my datapad, and that's all it needed to start rebuilding itself. And I'll tell you this much for free, though. It really hated that pad. Cramped, it said. These uber brain computers are all the same, right? So fussy. But even after all the pieces of itself it lost, it managed to hold on to the idea that everything it lost because of Vitek. It got pretty angry with you, Leanne. Almost as angry as me. Scared yet? I want my son. He doesn't want you. 593. I wonder how it felt. Finding out he was hiding on Carinza, that your husband would rather have lived on a miserable little speck of ice at the far reaches of the galaxy than live with you. And all the WUC holdings you could have blown to hell, you picked that one to kick off your little hostile takeover. I wish I could have seen your face. Never mind. I'll see it on the news soon. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Oh, I know exactly who I'm dealing with. Tell you what. Parting gift before I go look up the address of the UTC Judicial Tribunal and send them what I just sent you. You want to see Ezra? Got one more file for you. Read it and weep. Then run fast. And run far. $5.94. It's been 8 days since Acting Captain Sarah Bull heard from her crew that far. Far behind them, they had detected an explosion of such magnitude that it could only mean one thing. 8 days since she made an unthinkable foolish choice. Since she made the only choice she could live with and turn the Hypatia around. 7 days since the Hypatia swept the debris fields and found the impossible. Katie Grant, half dead in one of the Alexander's only 2 surviving escape pods. From the other, Sergeant Curatan howled threats at them and all their mortal descents, and with reluctance they left her where they found her. 7 days they reeled their savior in, left her in Shuttle Bay 1B to wait and see if Phobos Beta would come calling for her, or if she'd live. After the first day, the symptoms of the acute radiation poisoning began to recede, and she was able to uncurl a little, to move, to walk a slow lap of the Shuttle Bay, listening to her footsteps echo in the distance, and eventually to curl up on her hard bed once more and wait. It really didn't look like a victory. The Shuttle Bay footage is of particularly high quality. The technicians monitoring her were nervous. Make sure they could capture every pixel. But she showed no symptoms and obediently offered her arm for a blood sample when the doctor made his house calls. Wrapped her head to foot in his bright green plastic suit. No Phobos Beta. No hallucinated fears. Everything she feared has already come true. I can't talk, you guys. Hallucinations simply couldn't beat the real thing. This transcript begins at 1622 hours when a loud thunk, that wasn't very loud, echoes around the Shuttle Bay, signaling that the airlock seal has been broken. With a long, low rumble, the door begins to cycle open, light streaming in through the crack. She simply lies there, gazing into space, arms wrapped around herself. A voice rises over the door's rumble. Male. Teenaged. Impatient. Let me in before I... Though she's lying still on the bed, there's a different quality in her stillness now. She heard the voice. She knows exactly who it sounds like. And the knowing, the remembering, cuts like a knife. Because she knows it isn't true. The voice again lifted to a shout. Katie! She pushes upright like an old woman, one hand braced against the cold bench, levering herself up with the wince until she sits. Then deliberately she swings her legs over the edge. Second, Lieutenant Ezra Mason stumbles through the door and comes to a halt a few steps inside the shuttle bay. She's never seen him like this, in a clean UTA uniform, pips on his sleeve, haircut regulation short, one arm in a cast from wrist to elbow. He holds a battered and familiar data pad in his other hand. She stares at him, expressionless. Eventually, she blinks slowly, draws the only possible conclusion. Am I sick? The thought of the afflicted were supposed to see things that scared them. He shakes his head and walks closer, slow and careful, as though he might spook her. You're not sick, he whispers. You're not sick, he whispers. You're dead, she points out, voice rusty from disuse. Just a little messed up, he murmurs, lifting his hand to show her cast. I took a beating when they attacked the shuttle bay, but I got out with the evac group. She shakes her head, matter of fact in her contradiction. Even if you made it over here, Captain Bull flushed all the Cyclone pilots out the airlock. I couldn't get the full name list, but Mikhail Chatter from your wing, he was there. You would have been there too. A shadow passes across his features at that. I couldn't fly my Cyclone over, not with a broken arm. I was medvaced in one of the shuttles. A ghost of his old smile. Once I found out you'd flown over to Alexander, I wanted to follow you. Tried to steal a ship, and when that didn't work, I busted my way into the bridge. He pauses and shakes his head. I tried to make them turn around to get you. They brigged me. His voice breaks. I'm sorry, Cades. I shouldn't have let them leave you. She considers that, holding perfectly still, turning the logic over in her head, examining it from every angle. Analytical mind looking for the flaw that'll tell her she's hallucinating, that she's sick or dead, or still in the escape pod, submerged in fever dreams, but she can't find it. Ezra? A draw of hope in her whisper. He nods, swallowing hard. She pushes to her feet, swaying. The moment seems to release him. The next moment, he's running across the shuttle bay, watched by the debrief crew in the doorway, who know better than to move a muscle. She steps forward, one foot, then the other. It's a helicopter in the background. Sorry. It just so happens to get a little bit loud around here. How very fitting. You want to see it take off? Let's watch it together. I'm fascinated about whirlybirds. They're so cool. It's quite loud, isn't it? Still waiting. I don't know when it's gonna go. What's he doing? think he's getting ready to leave now. He's hovering. So cool. Okay, so yeah, I got interrupted by a helicopter. We were almost there, you guys. Almost. So this is the finale of the finale of the finale. So, she steps forward, one foot, then the other, and then he reaches her. They come together with a crash. Her arms curled up around his neck, and his mouth finds hers, like he's drowning and she's air. Her feet come off the ground as the world is forgotten. And they're together. I love that. Isn't that cute? And I'm sure the data pad is taking the picture. And it says together, 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 together. Together, 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 together. They're united now. Yay! Now run. This concludes the read of the Illuminate files. These are all the acknowledgements. And I'm not going to read that. I'll save that for you if you decide to run it. And so it took us a while to get through this book, and I apologize. But we have many more reads to come from other books. So if you enjoyed the Illuminate files or what I was able to read, do me a favor and like it, subscribe it, share it, and I just hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for tuning in to Bolo Up, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, check this out. I got lion here. Watch this. Sexy Bolo. Yeah. This whole time I was talking and you heard what I had to say. I was up there, and then I came down, and there's some treasures. The Lula area. It's the tree. That's my tent. And there, where I had it last night, I'm relocating it to the flat ground. And that's where my sand stand is. But I don't want to go over there because there's lots of litter, and I don't litter. I'll bring my water and my fruit and everything else I won't bring to the camp. That water bottle is irrelevant. I don't poop in my environment. Anyways, yeah, that's what it's gonna be like. Look at you. Just hit. Love you.
Relax, get up off your feet, sit back, subtract, move to the beat, quit that, unpack, sure sounds good to me, time to loosen up, oh it's time to loosen up, kick back, relax, get up off your feet, sit back, subtract, move to the beat. Quit that, unpack, sure sounds good to me. Time to loosen up, oh it's time to loosen up.
So Have a good night, baby. I love you.